let people know because they thought I was the weak person of the group or whatever the fuck. But
Scotty, you weak as fuck. Bitch, you so
We made a decision that you and Smiley are victims, and you're not staying here.
Look at this shit. Look at, oh my god, street. Are you so excited? Probably.
Why are you allowing this girl to touch my shit? Bro, you cannot afford this shit.
Oh, hello. Today I'm going to be talking about cliques. I, like many people, have a guilty pleasure of loving to watch reality television. And I saw this recent episode of Baddies East. I do want you guys to know that I use these experiences and I watch these TV shows. And aside from the glamorous makeup and hair that I love to watch, which is why I love me some Real Housewives channel, because them women with some coin, they know how to dress if you put them in the right area. But I want to talk about cliques today, and we're gonna do the honors and use Baddies East as an example, which I did stop doing reviews on, but I do want to highlight the social constructs that I see and just female friendships and relational aggression, which I really want to talk about because I don't think we talk about it enough. Relational aggression, which we'll get into a little bit later, affects many of us and probably you too. So we're gonna dive deep and use these girls as real life examples to talk about cliques and later relational aggression. I'm gonna be reading some excerpts from articles. So I'm gonna be reading some articles right now, just a couple paragraphs, not the whole article. I'm gonna be linking them down below just in case you guys want to read a little bit further. It is no exaggeration that some perceive social rejection as a form of suffering. It generates feelings of humiliation, shame, and crushes self-esteem. Neuroscientific research shows that it actually activates brain areas associated with physical pain. One strategy is to desperately double down by going to lengths that are borderline or outright unethical. And if someone has been forced into an outsider position for long enough, they may be corrupted once they get the influence they crave. That was an article from a website called courts.com. So we're gonna get into the next one. Whew. I noticed this is an odd color for a drink. So if you're wondering what I'm drinking mango juice mixed with a little bit of alcohol, okay? It's late at night and I'm gonna cook dinner after this, so don't judge me, okay? I'm gonna paraphrase just a little bit. It is human nature to want to belong in a group. It's also human nature to want to categorize everything, including people. When asked about the matter, Mr. Williams, a psychology teacher, explained that people form cliques in order to feel safe and protected, and it can be harmful when one is not in the group. Cliques are important because they're safe. It's harmful to be outside the group. Just like in nature, the lone antelope gets eaten. Those who stay together survive longer, said Williams. In nature, most animals will also form groups in order to have a better chance of survival. Humans are no different in that sense. Since we are social creatures, it makes sense that we would want to belong to a bigger group and be accepted by others. Cliques also can have something that psychology calls groupthink, in which the people in the group don't always do the right thing because they're afraid of going against the norm. This is where movies like Mean Girls come into play, when the people of a clique bully the outsiders, even if some people in the group do not agree with the bullying taking place. The problem with cliques is that sometimes people would rather risk doing the wrong thing than getting kicked out of the clique. I don't know about you, but people like Scotty, when I see her on my TV screen or when I see even the last episode with Biggie and some of the disturbing things that she had to say towards Rolly. And before we get into the reality TV portion of this video, please take everything I say lightly because Rolly, you are also not on the hook. You've also said some things towards T that we're going to get into a little bit later. But when I watch somebody like Scotty, right? Scotty, her first season, she just really seemed super sweet. And granted, you know, she got into Baddies, so obviously a part of her, even on the first season, did gravitate towards drama and violence to a certain extent. But you could tell that on the show, she really did not want to fight people that much. Her first season, she really wanted to keep the peace. Scotty's first instinct was always to talk it out. Now, in recent episodes, it seems like Scotty has a new sense of power because she feels accepted by the it girls in the group. And she feels like she's the boss, she's a top dog, she's an original baddie. It shows in the way that she was chastising T, saying to T a few episodes back, like, you're not an OG, you're not allowed to get on the jet, like, oh, aha, you're not allowed to get on the jet. And we're gonna get into that jet a little bit later, because that jet, I mean, did they not form a clique inside of a clique on this show? Granted, on a show like Baddies or any other reality TV show, whether it be a Love Island or a Real Housewives, you do see subgroups form when these large group of women are brought to the chat. When you have over 3 women, there's bound to be some type of subgroup forming. But Scotty, you know, some of her actions, it just shows, she reminds me of my first article that I read about if someone has been forced into an outsider position for long enough, they may be corrupted once they get the influence that they crave. I 100% agree with that when it comes to the show. It seems like girls like Scotty and Biggie, like, once they get that little taste of acceptance that they crave, they wow out. Even Scarface to a certain extent. I mean, Scarface seems like a girl who is a little bit sensitive, and I think it would hurt her feelings if Rolly were to come at her, or if Natalie, or, you know, even Sky, the tatted one, right? If she were to come at her, I don't think, I mean, even we saw it when she was going against Tasheki, she understood that there was a certain hierarchy, and I do believe that that's why the interaction went how it did, as opposed to Biggie, who she feels like is a smaller person on the social food chain, okay? Now that she's been on the show for a little bit and she's made some friends, made some connections, it seemed like she just was more comfortable going after girls like T, girls like Biggie. And even Biggie saying to Rolly, like, oh, you're not the prettiest fat bitch on the show anymore and you're mad. Like, what, how did we get here? Like, how did we get there? I just want to know, like, and even Rolly saying about T, like, you thought you were pretty, you thought you were effable, like, what does that have to do with the fight? Like, these are little insecurities that are beginning to come out with these girls. And later we're going to dive more into that. The fact that insecurity breeds hostility and contempt. And we see it playing. When I watch this show, right? And I think this is one of the reasons why I stopped doing reviews. When I watch this show, I can sometimes get secondhand embarrassment from seeing these girls develop wounds and develop unhealthy coping mechanisms in order to survive in this environment. You know, I can only imagine what that can do to your psyche. And I do think that we can talk about other girls as well, but just for the sake of this video today, we're gonna keep it short, keep it sweet. And again, I don't have anything against these girls. When I see them on my television and I watch them, I just kind of, it hurts me because I remember being that girl. Like, I remember being the girl that was outside of the group, and it might not have been of this magnitude of aggression or, you know, whatever it may be, but I've been on the outside and I've also been I've been inside the clique, and I've been the girl that wanted to do something to another girl just to show her that she wasn't exactly with my crowd. She wasn't on that level. And we're talking high school here, okay? Like, this is me years and years ago when I was still immature. So now we're gonna get into my final article of the video, which is gonna help me break down relational aggression. True to movie depictions of the all-girl social club reputed for their nastiness, real-life mean girls thrive on adoration, power, and exclusivity. What really sets all-girl social clubs apart from all other cliques of society is the complicated nature of their friendships. On the surface, you see a group of like-minded females enjoying the perks of camaraderie and belonging. But underneath that protective armor of sisterhood are clockworks of unspoken angst, covert jealousy, and competition. Psychologists call this relational aggression. Relational aggression can be defined as aggression intended to cause harm through damage of one's relationship or social standing. Relational aggression is a covert form of bullying, more common among women, but not totally unknown to men. Girls and women, as quieter creatures, resort to passive-aggressive behavior when dealing with their offenders. Rather than deal with the matter at hand in a direct manner, women opt to backstab, gossip, stereotype, make fun of, and single out their target through rumors, isolation, or by totally excluding the person from the group as a way of retribution. Now, if I was reading that and a few scenes did not pop up in your head, baby, just watch that last episode again for me so that we are on the same page, okay? Natalie being the head of the clique, the leader of the clique, you can tell that she thrives on the concept of exclusivity. She loves to, like, as soon as she gets upset or whenever she gets into her bag, she likes to chastise other women or flaunt her accomplishments, which, by the way, are very well deserved. Her accomplishments are her accomplishments, and nobody can take that away from her. But if you watch the show, then you know that Natalie, she does have a tendency to pick and choose when she wants to isolate herself. Even the way she called out T for not smiling and then getting the other girls riled up, knowing that some of the girls already had an issue with the girl when she was already sick. Like, these are behaviors of somebody who's moving passive aggressively, who is, you know, wanting to pull strings behind the scenes. And even when Natalie was on a Bad Girls Club, you could tell that she was also the same way. I found this clip on TikTok that I thought was so funny because I was like, wow, like, Natalie dead never changed. Like, she still does that.
That's what it is. She wants to be where I am.
What did you say?
Look,
When I saw that video, I was weak because I was like, yo, Natalie dead never changed. Like, she still acts that way. Insecurity can breed hostility and contempt. That is the name of the game of relational aggression. Often enough, when a woman suffers from a strong sense of inadequacy, she clings to the very things that make her feel good with a certain fierceness and possessive passion. Threatened, she turns to devious avenues to defend her place in the social food chain. That little blurb right there, that is definitely what Biggie was doing. She, you know, felt a little insecure about her place on the show, and she was hostile, she was contempt. She decided to cling to the very thing that made her feel good, which is, I'm not a replacement, I've been here before, I'm Biggie, like, people love me. And she clung to that, and she used that, and the more and more she kept talking about that. This is why shows like this are so hard to watch, and why the show has such a negative connotation, because, you know, nobody really wants to see girls get their feelings hurt all fucking day. Like, I mean, some people do, but I don't. And her even making comments about her being heavyset and Rolly being heavyset and how she's somehow prettier than her, it was another way for her to want to feel in and connected to something. And, you know, it just was super hard to watch, y'all. Comment down below if you saw that scene. What did you think? Like, I don't know, y'all. Regardless of age, women of all walks are drawn together into a posse by their very need for constant reinforcement. As they thrive on the security of membership, they soon learn of the incredible power that is acting on something together. Mean girls are defined by their collective strength. They attack as a pack. Relational aggression can cultivate depression, the feeling of shame, self-doubt, and ultimately low self-esteem. So now let's get into the girls on the show that I think are immune to the bullshit. They're immune to the BS. These girls do not let the clique mentality get to them. They don't let relational aggression bother them. They're used to it, so it rolls off their back. And those girls are obviously Krishan, Stunner Girl, and T. T this season has been a crowd favorite. Why? Because she does not give in to relational aggression. She doesn't do what everybody wants her to do. She doesn't move with the clique. She understands her power when she stands alone, and it's bigger than if she were to do it with a group. Yeah, if T were to, you know, join in and jump people and bully people, she would fit in with the group, but I mean, who cares? Like, she stands on her principle. And you really can't help but to respect someone like that. Same thing with Stunner Girl. Stunner Girl, when she came into the show, made it clear that she did not really care what other girls were doing. She knew that she had her own wave going on. And that is really important. So now that we've talked about the technicalities and the ratchetness of it all, let's get into what you can do if you ever find yourself in a position where you are feeling any type of pressure from a clique, or if you are, you know, starting to see passive-aggressive behavior, relational aggression within your friendships. Number one is hold your head high. This is so important because people who click up and want to incite violence against you, they get off on your reaction. They want to know if they hurt your feelings. They want to see you cry. And if you hold your head up high and you don't let people see that they bother you, that will make them go crazy. They have no choice but to respect you more or hate you more. When even if a person is hating you more, just know that they respect you deep down inside. That's why they're giving so much attention to you in the first place. Get you a check, work on yourself, work on your body if you don't like it, and work out. If you don't like your hair, then you can go to the beauty supply store and, you know, try something new. Do whatever you need to do to make you feel back in your power, in your element, to remind yourself that you don't need anybody pressuring you to do anything. If these so-called friends of yours are against you for being yourself, then that's another thing. Move on and make other friends. You do not need anybody with a clique mentality in your ear anyway. Make friends that can relate to you on things that you actually like outside of a drama. Because having a really good woman in your corner, having a great friend, that's something that I wish on everybody. Like, I want all of my bitches across the globe to have amazing friendships. That's what life is about. When you're down on your luck and you need somebody to pick you up, when you need somebody to talk to, these are the people that you go to. You know what I mean? I'm so grateful that you guys have watched this video up until this point. It's pretty late, so I'm gonna go. If you guys enjoyed this video, give me a like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, I'll see you in my next video. Peace.